I can't believe we finally have to talk about this, but you've beaten me down, Peter. Just
Meta!
another Facebook fine story.
GDPR! No, it's not.
It's not just another fine story.
It's not.
There's more to it this time.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll find out.
Meta got fined in the EU. And it's actually the European Directorate overriding the DPC from Ireland, who put down a small fine for this. And they're getting fined for targeting people, targeting ads at people. That's basically it. And the decision is that they can't do that at all. Like
without consent.
Yeah, but there's nobody has given consent.
Right, but if they get consent, they can do it.
I suppose if there is explicit consent that says you allow us to target ads towards you, you can. But they haven't done that for anybody so far. So that means they have to immediately cease, or they should, immediately cease all targeted ads in the EU, which is big. The fine was like 300 million or something like that. It's not nothing. It's still 10 times what the Irish DPC said, gave out initially. But the significant thing is that they just can't do this anymore. So
and that's a change in tune entirely from prior years, where we've just seen the slap on the wrist fine that companies just consider a cost of operation.
So one of the really interesting things about this is that this complaint about targeted ads was filed on the day that GDPR came into force. It was like May the 25th, 2018. That's that day, and it took this long to get to the point. So initially, the DPC in Ireland looked into it, and they said, "Oh, that's you naughty Facebook. Don't do that. We'll give you a 70 million fine or something, or 30 million. I don't know." And then someone else, there's an organization called noib.eu, which is none of your business. I love that name. And they were like, no, that's not good enough. And they took it to one of the rules is that anything that affects international organizations has to be reviewed by the Central European Union governance body, like EPDB. If anybody's seen the League, by the way,
Airbnb, EBDB.
EBDB, yeah.
EBDB, Airbnb.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that inside joke if you don't know what we're talking about there. So the European guys were like, no, they haven't given consent. Meta tried to get around it by saying that there was a contract that people were subject to. And the EBDB, were like, that doesn't count, which is amazing.
Yeah, they find what's that symbol? Is that a pound sign? Some silly made up currency. Meta Ireland fined £210 million for breaches of the GDPR relating to the Facebook service, and then £180 million for breaches in relation to the Instagram service. And they were given 3 months to come into compliance. Oh, euros. Yeah, right.
Damn.
Euros, sorry. Not pounds, euros.
Yeah. Facebook are appealing, of course. They're just ignoring it for the moment,
Obviously.
which is really kind of outrageous. Like a European official body says you can't do that, and they're like, nah, we're going to keep doing it until, we're going to appeal. Like,
yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark.
Oh, really? You don't think so?
Know.
You think within 3 months Facebook is going to stop serving ads in Europe? That's your prediction? You want to put a pizza on that, Peter?
I think Facebook is gonna have to make a hard call in 3 months.
There's a couple of other things that are interesting about this. So the first thing is that the argument was that they're allowed to do this, but it wasn't clear, and that's why they only got a smaller fine. And the DPC in Ireland, I don't know, data protection something, are notorious for siding with the corporations and giving them a pass.
Of course, they love them.
But this is kind of like shows the difference in data protectorate organizations. What was I thinking though? There's another thing about this, which is so apparently, I didn't realize this. it's not going to affect their revenue as much as people might have thought, because up to 30% of users actually like targeted advertising.
Yeah,
So
that's what I've been saying.
Why'd you say that? Why did you just say that? That's the shit you keep to yourself.
I've been telling
Peter.
you that forever.
I just didn't believe it, I suppose.
And it's more than that. Those are just the people who realize it. There are so many more people that don't even realize they're being targeted, but just like that's the experience they want. It makes so much more sense.
Does it?
Yeah, as
I'll
a
tell
user,
you what.
see things
I'll support targeted ads the day that you're able to audit what actually happens to the data.
Yeah. When you get a copy that you can carry around on a USB, and that's the data that's used.
Yeah.
And when you decide not to plug it in, then nothing has access to it.
Oh my God,
They're still going to be tracking all this stuff as well.
That's a great system.
It's just they can't use the data, so there's
like
still
an immutable ledger.
Yeah. The side of it that I hate, which is the actual tracking, is still fun.
I couldn't resist. Okay, I couldn't resist.
Yeah. It'll be really interesting to see what happens in 3 months. There's another thing that happened recently, by the way, which is the DSA came into force in November, the European Digital Services Act and the Digital Marketing Act, and I always get them mixed up. But one of them is going to force all ad networks to disclose their ad inventory, which is going to have a huge effect on ad fraud at the moment.
But by which you mean their ad inventory, I assume?
What did I say?
Inventory.
Inventory.
Like a list of things they invented? What's
that? Whatever. They're
an inventory on their inventions?
Inventory. I've always said inventory. Inventory.
This is America, Peter.
Oh, God, that thing where you say the word too many times.
Should we have some prawns?
Jesus. All right, cut. Let's end this episode.